Since the very dawn of our consciousness, a single monumental question has really haunted humanity. Where do we come from? But, hidden inside that question is an even deeper mystery, a riddle that challenges the very nature of belief itself. And it all starts with a pretty striking paradox.
So, this is the paradox right at the heart of our story today. It's a claim that forces us to look at two absolutely staggering possibilities: that we are the children of some divine architect, or maybe we're the parents of a divine invention. The question is, which is which?
All right, first things first, let's explore the evidence for that first God, the transcendent being who, according to thousands of years of tradition, sculpted us from the very elements of the universe.
Now, what's really fascinating here is just how consistent these stories are. I mean, you look across continents, across wildly different cultures, and the ancient scriptures tell a remarkably similar tale. From the Yahweh of Genesis breathing life into a form made of dust, to the Hindu creator Brahma birthing humanity's ancestors, the narrative is crystal clear. We are a deliberate creation, crafted with purpose by a power far beyond ourselves.
But what if that whole story is one that we just wrote for ourselves? Okay, let's pivot now to the second God, and the really compelling case for a deity that was born not in the heavens, but right inside the human mind.
So, the philosopher Ludwig Feuerbach, he came along with this revolutionary idea. What if we created God in our image and not the other way around? He argued that we took all the best human qualities, love, wisdom, power, and we projected them outward onto this perfect, idealized being. And then, of course, Friedrich Nietzsche took this idea a huge step further with his famous declaration. For him, God was a human construct, basically a crutch we invented to give our lives meaning and to impose some kind of moral order. But, Nietzsche argued, with the rise of science and reason, humanity we didn't need that crutch anymore. Our invention had become obsolete.
And this is a great illustration of how modern science tries to tackle this. Evolutionary psychology suggests that the idea of gods popped up to help enforce morality in groups. Cognitive science points to something in our brains called hyperactive agency detection. Basically, we're wired to see intention everywhere, whether it's in the rustling grass or a clap of thunder. Then you have meme theory from thinkers like Dennett, which frames God as a powerful cultural idea, a meme that survives because it's useful to society. And from a historical angle, someone like Yuval Noah Harari would argue these myths were just really effective fictions that allowed for the large-scale cooperation you need to build a civilization.
So, here we are. We've got two powerful, completely opposing narratives. One of a divine creator, the other of a human invention. Now, let's bring them head to head.
So on one side, you have theists like William Lane Craig. They argue that God is a necessary, uncreated being, the ultimate source of a reality that obviously couldn't have created itself. But on the other side, you've got evolutionary thinkers like Dennett, who contend that gods are simply useful fictions, byproducts of our brain's wiring and our cultural evolution. And believe me, the philosophical battlefield here is just huge. You've got classical theists who see a total one-way street of creation, from God to us. You've got projectionists who see the exact opposite. And then there are these really complex positions like cognitive dualism. That view suggests that maybe our brains are just innately biased to believe in a creator, and then our cultures come along and fill in the details of what that creator actually looks like. The question just hangs there. Where does the truth actually lie?
So, did we dream God into existence? Or did God dream us? Just when the question seems like a simple choice, a simple binary, the ancient texts themselves reveal a truly stunning complexity.
You have to look really closely at the book of Genesis because it actually contains two different creation stories. In the first chapter, you have this cosmic, sort of distant Elohim who creates humanity. But then in the second chapter, you get a very personal, intimate Yahweh who gets his hands dirty, forming man from clay. Some ancient Gnostic traditions actually saw this as proof of two different beings, a true, transcendent God, and then a lesser, kind of flawed creator. They called it a demiurge, who is the one who actually fashioned our material world.
But hang on. What if the answer isn't one or the other? What if the question itself is the problem? Ancient Indian philosophy offers a third path, and it's centered on a concept called Brahman, the ultimate reality that is neither the creator nor the creation, but the very fabric of everything that is.
Yeah, schools of thought like Advaita Vedanta teach that the personal creator God we think we perceive is a kind of illusion, a projection onto that ultimate reality of Brahman. The Samkhya school just denies a creator God completely, arguing that nature evolves all on its own. And the ancient Rig Veda, in a hymn called the Nasadiya Sukta, ends with this incredible humility. It just asks, who really knows? Suggesting that the origin of everything might just be unknowable, and that maybe, just maybe, the creator and the created were never really separate to begin with.
And this ancient paradox, it comes crashing right into our world today. I mean, as we stand on the edge of creating non-biological general artificial intelligence, we are becoming creators in our own right. We are literally birthing that second God, the one made by human beings, out of silicon and lines of code.
So, we've journeyed through ancient scriptures, modern philosophy, even the wiring of our own brains. We've seen the powerful arguments for a divine architect and for a human invention. And now, it all comes down to this.
So, where does the truth lie? Are we the masterwork of some cosmic creator? Or are our gods the masterwork of our own incredible imagination? The final verdict? Well, that's yours.